Welcome back to our channel. We want to thank you for joining. South Africa's stranded presidential security team in Poland is causing diplomatic row within the country. That's between South Africa and also Poland. Poland denies any form of race being involved. Poland said racism was not a factor in the decision to refuse entry to South Africa's presidential guard and media for more than 24 hours. The standoff happened at Warsaw Chopin's airport. The aircraft will now be held there until Sunday, according to media reports. About 120 people were stuck on the plane, who were all on their way to the peace summit in Ukraine. Some of the passengers are now disembarked and actually in that hotel. The Poland action have left President Cyril Ramaphosa, who traveled separately to Ukraine without some of his security details. This prompted a furious reaction from Mr Ramaphosa's head of security, Maj Gen Wally Rhoode, who actually said, "They are denying us. They are putting the life of our president in jeopardy." He told journalists, "We could have been in Kyiv by now, and this is all they are doing. I want you guys to see how racist they are." But Poland has dismissed this outrightly. Accusations against Poland of racism are being circulated in this case. "This is a nonsense," says the director of the National Security Department and spokesperson for Poland's Ministry Special Service Coordinator, Stanislaw Zarin. Warsaw Chopin Airport spokesman Mr Rudzki told media outlets that South African security guards did not have the necessary permits for their weapons to get into the country. "We cannot let passengers with illegal firearms into the European Union," according to his statement. Mr Rudzki added that they are told they could disembark if they left their weapons on the planes, but they refused. The firearms, according to him, were not going to be confiscated, as some reports in South Africa have alleged, based on his own analysis. What started as an impasse on Thursday afternoon has escalated into a diplomatic row. A spokesperson for South Africa's president said the row was regrettable. Vincent Magwenya had heard efforts were being made to ensure those on the aircraft can proceed to cover at least the Russians' leg of the trip. But according to Mr Rudzki, this is no longer an option. Despite the event in Warsaw, Mr Magwenya says President Ramaphosa arrived safely in Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, safely by train from Poland, along with other African heads of state who are visiting the country to promote dialogue with Russia. "I would like to assure all South Africans that there has been no compromises whatever to the president's safety as a result of the impasse that involved the chartered flight with the Presidential Protection Service team and also media," he says, based on other analysis. To dive into specifics, let's listen to how this is playing down within the region and the continent, especially in South Africa, by SABC News in the continent. We will join you back on the other side.
In our lead story at this hour, a diplomatic row has broken out following the Polish government's refusal to allow President Cyril Ramaphosa's security personnel to disembark in Warsaw. The head of the Presidential Protection Unit, General Wally Rhoode, has accused the Polish government of trying to sabotage the African peace mission to Ukraine and Russia. Meanwhile, President Ramaphosa and the presidents of Zambia, Senegal and the Comoros have traveled to the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv, by train, while the presidents of Congo, Brazzaville, Egypt and Uganda have sent their representatives. Now, they are due to meet Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky.
President Ramaphosa will enter Ukrainian land Kyiv with thin security as his special forces security is prevented from disembarking in Warsaw Airport in Poland. The aircraft transporting over 100 security personnel with heavy gunfire was prevented from entering Poland without original permits for their weapons. Flyover permits for some countries were also an issue, as the aircraft had to turn in circles for an hour before entering Italian airspace, with a flyover permit being the issue. General Wally Rhoode, the head of the Presidential Protection Services, says the Polish government is sabotaging President Ramaphosa and other African presidents' road to peace mission.
When he tried 4 hours to get to here, he was still upset. It has never happened that we have still upset anyone with a diplomatic passport just to get us out of here. Right? Now, they say we don't have permits. We have permits. The only difference is now they say we can't bring a copy of a permit, we must bring the original. Now, some of us have original permits, right? The embassy here printed permits because I thought it's not necessary to have the originals here.
Reuters says the mission is to prevent President Ramaphosa from entering Ukraine with his security. The Presidential Protection Service's head has accused the Polish authorities of delaying tactics, pandering into the geopolitical arena.
Now all of a sudden, we must have originals. They are delaying us, right? They're putting out the life of our president in jeopardy.
The South African delegation has had hassles with the Polish government. Wally Rhoode, as the head of the Presidential Protection Unit, says they're being sabotaged by the Polish government. They can't offload their heavy machinery and weapons to go protect President Ramaphosa in Kyiv, thus putting the president's security at risk. The Presidential Protection Unit saying no taxpayers' money was wasted, and the Polish government stripped naked one of the female senior representatives of the Presidential Protection Unit, showing how racist and how they're intent on sabotaging the South African government and President Ramaphosa. Samkela Masego reporting live from Poland in Warsaw.
During the African delegation visit to Ukraine on Friday, the military said it had come under missile attack and returned fire. Hopefully, Poland and South Africa can amend their diplomatic relationship as the peace summit is ongoing. We will be coming up with videos with regards to what happened in Ukraine and what's going to be happening in Russia in the days and hours ahead. I want to thank you. Keep the conversation going. Let us know if you think there was the reason or Poland was right to make such delays or basically implement such rules with individuals with diplomatic passport, and if South Africa also had the right permits, as the gentleman claimed that every permit was available but they were asking for the original copy. We want to thank you for joining. We're looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Have a good day. Bye bye.